Right, welcome. Good evening on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Big win for Team FC Barcelona. Big win for Barcelona. Big game. I think that before the game, now the conversation was about Barca players, no fitness, and if they were ready to go on and play. It was positive when at the point Yete said Ronald Araujo has contacted the coach Hans-Dieter Flick and he said, regardless of the fact that he just got back from Bolivia, no, he was still going to go on and play until move on into bench. So just in case there's a need for him, he'll go on and go and play. I think that was like huge thing. In fact, in the pre-match presser just before the game, Hans-Dieter Flick spoke about it. And I can say a very, very good thing over there, which is very important. But we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about what the game means to Team Friend in Barcelona. But before time and I match, because now Women's Champions League final, Women's Champions League quarterfinals, a year was semi-finals, so and this one, it was an all-English derby, all-English affair. Chelsea women versus Man City women. Now first leg na koso. Now Man City for Chelsea by 2-0. In fact, this season, Chelsea for the Man City for twice. In the lead up to this Champions League games, no, what was going to happen was that Man City bought Chelsea away, not Chelsea born away in the league, and then after that we born at home. Our Champions League second fixture, and it was something that Chelsea needed to win. Olusu by 2-0. It was huge. In fact, in the first half of match, no, not a branch friend about him, a friend about Baltimore. Actually, the first goal, Manaba 2-1. I think in about the 18th minute or so. Then another goal again. Then Maya Ramirez scoring the other one and making it 3-0 in the first half. And I think that the job Ababa and Mamia Yefreno, Sonia Bompaster has done at Chelsea women has been super. Time and Imaha is one. They were winning. They were competing in Europe. But it looks as if the team is on the next level after even Imaha. Last time I was away at Emirates, they seem to be dominating this area. Chelsea team, the only breath of fresh air of the team, if they are able to go on into the next day of the Champions League, it's going to be huge. I remember last season, a semi-final on Barcelona for man, a Chelsea for man, it's a real tough competition for Chelsea man if they're able to go through. But what a job that has been done. Rhys James, Nyaba, Lauren James was solid. Ramirez, my branch friend of Baltimore, all of these people were very, very solid on the day. You give them a lot of credit. We want to see how that one pounds out over there. Barcelona got a job done. I said in the pre-match analysis, said Spanish La Liga is like there is no way I hear Spanish La Liga. And Barca cannot be complacent. In fact, the timing of this Osasuna match was very delicate because, yes, Barca players were going to play after 48 minutes. And see Flick about the pre-match press conference, Eba Bekatcher and said, oh, one of the boys, they boys, they said they are confident enough they can go on and play match into problem be any on them, which is granted. Now, when they went into the game, how can they transform that? But now, Emma said, this is the same Osasuna side in the first round. Now Barca Airco in an 8-game unbeaten streak. In fact, 8-game winning streak. And Osasuna for the Chiomashon by 4-2 our first round. And again this season, before some match and in the second half, Barca were going in for an 8-game winning streak. So it was obviously going to be the highest winning streak from Coach FN Hans-Dieter Flick. Now, when you go into a game like that, the emotions are there. Yeah, bomb match at a time where you didn't want to play. Game is very tough for you. How are you going to turn things around with respect to the in-game psychological parts of the game? Again, what sort of players any Honum Madrid for are watching? How are Barca going to go into the match and really going to impose themselves and try and get the needed 3 points over here? And again, I think that one of the things that Hansi Flick has done brilliantly well is the management of the squad. And he manages it not just with common sense, but also with the game in mind, with the point of view of the game. Now, why do I say this? In this game, Barca Kuomu and decided to arrest our branch friend Robert Lewandowski. Now, the plan was simple. So Robert Lewandowski there, then it means that Obabe bought a false nine. If he's playing a false nine, it means that there's going to be a lot of concentration in central areas. Senegal, once you concentrate central areas or Obe gets apart with more players, Obe force it to break the lines. But the ball will go wide and they will cut back consistently because our box crasher in Gavi. Then of course there's going to be Ferran Torres who will make a late start and run into the box. There's going to be Dani Olmo in the box. Then he will keep the weight with Lamine Yamal on the far side. Then Abrante Fernand Alejandro Balde. He went into the game with Chesney in post. Of course, the centre back pair of Eric Garcia and Inigo Martinez. Inigo Martinez, more of the central centre back, the Barca for the Beldiapa. Right back, Jules Koundé. Left back, Abrante Fernand Alejandro Balde. Then, of course, went into the middle of the park with Pedri, Gavi, and Abrante Fernand Frankie de Jong. And for me, one of the things that was spot on, especially in the first half, was the job that Abrante Fernand Frankie de Jong does on and off the ball in terms of the build-up, what he does on the ball, top notch. He builds up brilliantly well. The build-up has always been one of the best that you can get. Say, on your ball, that's all build it up. Come on, you get it from him. Of course, after there was Ferran Torres, there was Dani Olmo, and there's, of course, Abrante, your friend Lamine Yamal. And what it means is that these are two center forwards are almost more of second strikers. So Barca were going to clog house space into Barca and Yabona. It was a 3 at the back with Jules Koundé, Abrante Fernand, Inigo Martinez, and Fran Garcia as the back 3. Then, of course, in the wide area, more like a winger by Alejandro Balde. Then pushing Ferran Torres, had also Dani Olmo in the half space. And then, of course, Abrante, your friend of Lamine Yamal on that side. Then one extra player most of the time, which was Gavi. Serbia will become a 3-2-5. Then Pedri and Abrante Fernand Frankie de Jong will be in the first and second phase in terms of build-up. And I think Osasuna for wanted to defend in the 4-4-2 mid-block and then prevent Barca from having loads of the ball, packing the ball with more men behind. But Barca have been very good this season in terms of ball manipulation. Say, Oseti in a compact blocker, they will still manipulate and pull you out of your blocks. If you sit in a low compact blocker, what they do is that they move the ball quickly, they move the ball in between the lines faster, they play 1 or 2 touches, then force your players to step out of their block. And it's almost aggressive enough. They take the ball to the wide area. Then, of course, you have players beating Lamine Yamal and Alejandro Balde who are good in terms of playmaking. In fact, in the first half, Lamine Yamal playmaking about 3 or 4 times from wide areas, which was very, very important. But the first goal, obviously, came from Abrante Jumano. In the middle of the park was Frankie de Jong. Good play in terms of the flick to Ferran Torres, and then the ball back at him, and then of course sending the ball wide to Abrante, your friend Alejandro Balde, who played it across the face of goal. And of course, Abrante, their friend Ferran Torres, was right there to slot in for the very first goal. In just 11 starts this season, just 11 games, and Abrante, your friend Ferran Torres, has started this season, but over 14 goals this season for team friend Barcelona. He has been very instrumental. So start here, very instrumental. Very instrumental. And for me, the highlight of Ferran Torres this season has been that game away at Dortmund in the Champions League. And they will play again in Dortmund, our quarter-final. And it's going to be a huge one because when you go and play against Dortmund, you know, say, and your small match now, come on. In that game, Ferran Torres was really important. And I think that going forward, in games like that where you want to rest Robert Lewandowski, you want to use 2 inside 10s sort of to manipulate spaces and pull players out of their block now. Or only Abrante Fernand and Dani Olmo are going to be very, very important. In fact, there was again playmaking from the right-hand side from Abrante Fernand Lamine Yamal, taking on 2 players, playing in Abrante Fernand Ferran Torres. So there was less offside because these are players almost coming from deep. They attack the high line, and then of course Lamine Yamal, Abrante Fernand Ferran Torres too. Goalkeeper. I think that was a bad application from Ferran Torres. And easy 2-0 at that point in time. So ultimate shape goalkeeper, and that's what Ferran Torres should have done at that point in time. But again, you cut him some slack over the way to me and shape goalkeeper, no boy, goalkeeper, no. But still, Barca had the possession. In fact, in the first half, I said Osasuna for one share and ball in a need in a Barca for so no kita ball, no pass baby, no break lines, no the ball no wide areas, cross it, cut it back, ball across the face of goal. Barca were applying exactly what they had to do on and off the ball, whilst team near friend Osasuna was struggling to deal with things on and off the ball. And that's something that was brilliant from Team Friend FC Barcelona. And of course, when the second ball did come in, this time another playmaking job from Lamine Yamal, but Nipo making a run in behind was a branch defending Dani Olmo, and will make it a run in behind a goalkeeper. No, and then above my it was a penalty kick at that point in time. Of course, first one, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo boy, and a goalkeeper and a but because of encroachment from Tima, your friend Osasuna for centre backs now defenders, the penalty had to be retaken. Now, but the ball called the left of the goalkeeper in the first one. Still, timer, Omokasa will repeat to the goalkeeper to call right, but Abrante and Dani Olmo went to the same place again and check. And Dani Olmo, Ebra, Ebaya, or Tenase, and he had to be changed. Femi Lopez, Mubabe Bobi, Pablo Torremo in the second now. Hans Dieter Flick decided to make some changes, bring on the likes of Pablo Torremo, our born in Fifi, to try and see if he can get something. Out of Sagino. Barca were totally dominating the match. First phase, second phase, and all of those things. And it was very, very important to Barca for Hans Dieter Flick will begin to make some changes, albeit sensible ones. So Barca has some changes against him, friend, and Atletico de Madrid. But it wasn't measured changes, and that was the decisions of Hans Dieter Flick. Of course, Barca for Atletico de Madrid match. And the Barca this weekend against Girona. Next week, there's going to Atletico de Madrid in the Copa del Rey semi-final, which is not a packed. Another 48 hours, Barca for a match. Players say the best form of recovery, a sleep into a try some better crack, then they will come back and come and play. Barca stands now. Barca back on top of the Spanish La Liga, and Madrid will have some chasing to do against Girona. And yeah, they very easy match. Last season, Barca versus Girona was a very tough one. This season, it's not going to be an easy one. But Barca have the chance to beat Jumano on that side for team your friend FC Barcelona. And like I said, Hans Dieter flexing and ranting again. Born on money be professionals. So they'll be able to come back and come and play the game, and then they will get results as they have been looking for, and then make sure Somako that on top fully our Spanish La Liga. And so then the focus is going to be on other things like Copa del Rey next week. Then of course there's going to be Champions League later on. Barca are in for a treble this season with respect to performances. As to if Barca can win the treble or they cannot win the treble, it is only a matter of time. And if Barca for everything we need treble, and I say and we need treble over there for themselves in that regard. And anyway, we are hearing say Fabrizio Romano begin come and in Comodi it has been clear. Say Jadon Sancho already we had Chelsea for and your margins on the never come back. There were rumors that Chelsea had to pay some money. We realized that the money was going to be £5 million, and they said Chelsea they are taking Jadon Sancho back. Now we heard from Koba himself, we are more pleased with Jadon Sancho than being displeased. We are happy with the output on the field of play, in a relation with workers any other as a respectful young boy and stuff like that. But then again, what we are hearing is that from now to the end of the season, in the next 10 games, say Abrantia, your friend, Jadon Sancho, the performances, it's in your top and even better. And yes, I'm sure you're not Chelsea for I start LBB discussions on how to return Abrantia and Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. Guys, a Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. How do you see on the name post-match analysis Barca versus Osasuna. We will bring you more. We'll have more discussions. You be bring near Dinko. Come on. On Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Until then, do take care. Bye bye.